another 3/4 inch Umatic machine to show you. This is a Sony VP2000. So this is one up from the VP1000. This is just a video player. I wish it was a recorder, but it's not. It's just a player. But I do have my NV9200 recorder player, and it is superior to these VP1000 and VP2000 players in every aspect. These were a player, but they weren't a great player. But this one's not playing anything. So I'm going to show you the inside of this because the mechanism on this is a little different than the other machines that we've seen. And I'm shooting this in 4K just so you guys get to see the real workings of this beast and how it works, because it's a little different. The tape is threaded differently than it is on other machines. I don't know what's wrong with this machine at this point. It just doesn't play. But let's turn it on. And we'll see as soon as we turn on the power, the main motor starts up, which is driving the head drum by belt. We eject it. A load of tape. You notice what happens. The tape makes a partial load, pulls the tape out both directions. I'll show you that again. I'll zoom the camera in just a little bit and I'll eject it just so you can see what's going on. Maybe if I can rotate this thing a little bit, make it a little easier to see too. Okay, when I eject it, notice what happens. Now, when the machine is turned on and there's no tape in it, the motor runs constantly. As soon as I load the tape, it does a partial thread and stops. When I go into fast forward or rewind, as you can see, rewind, fast forward, motor starts up, the tape is spooled in this position. Watch what happens when I press play. The loading arm on this is different than my other Sony VP1000 and different than the Panasonic NV9200. Watch what happens with the loading arms on here. It's actually you'll see down here, there's actually two guides. This machine weighs a ton too. There's actually two guides side by side, and these are actually, one's going to go part way and stop, the other one's going to go part way and stop, and the third arm is going to pull, or the main loading arm is going to pull the tape all the way around. So watch what happens when you press or playback on this machine. And, well, that's what I've got for a picture. I don't have much of a picture. In fact, I've got nothing, and I know that this is a good tape. So I have a feeling that it just may be that the heads are contaminated on this machine, so we're gonna use good old fingernail, the back of the fingernail. The good old fingernail trick, back of your fingernail up against the head drum in this area here. Ever so slight, no pressure. Just rest the back of the fingernail against the head drum until you feel the head. And I'll show you the screen as I do this. We'll see if this is gonna come clean. This is a trick I learned in broadcast. If you have a head clog while you're on the air, oh, what do you know? It comes clear. Just like that. Cool, huh? That is a little the fingernail clean. What happens a lot of times with these old tapes, these tapes are going back to the 1970s, a lot of these tapes, because 3/4 inch was pretty much a dead format by the early 80s. But it was, you know, I mean, it was used by, it was still in use into the early to mid 80s, but it really, a lot of these tapes go back to the 70s. So what we're having is we're having tapes that are shedding oxide, and I could take this thing, I could clean it, but I could clean it with a piece of paper or a cleaning stick and alcohol and load a tape and press play, and it'll contaminate the head. So a trick that was used by broadcast people, especially if they're on the air and a head clogged while they're on the air, they would just, these machines didn't have tops on them, a lot of them, like this one, got no top on it. This came from a studio. They would just fingernail the back side of your fingernail here. It's about the right hardness to clear the clog without doing any damage, and it works. So I just wanted to show you this 3/4 inch machine, and I say there's nothing really wrong with it other than the head's clogged, and that's how you clear them up. So I thought you might think this one was kind of interesting, the way that this machine operates. Press stop, and that's how that one goes. And to eject it, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.